know if this is gonna work. Hey guys, a little bit of a new camera angle because I forgot to position my car wheel, the metal part. Hang on. This part right here is supposed to be up here, but I forgot to do it, so that's why this video might look a little bit different. So yeah. So a little bit of an update on the family visit with Uncle Tommy. It did not go well at all. The whole family visit thing was a scam. It was awful. And it all started, I think the last time I made a video was Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't remember. And I said I was going to give you guys an update on the situation. It has been a few days since then. And I am, to say, disappointed. Stuff happens. Uncle Tommy was just horrible. It was, whew. Now, when I say that Uncle Tommy was bad, it was like, do you hear that? I'm trying to, go through the roof, but I physically can't. It was that bad. So, Uncle Tommy got there, I like to say Thursday. We were there. We had a great time. And then out of nowhere, he punched my aunt in the face over an argument. And I was like, whoa, Uncle Tommy, what the hell? And granted, he was drunk, but being drunk doesn't warrant the fact that you have to beat my aunt. Your wife. Yes. He beat his wife, right in front of us. And I was like, dude, what the hell? And there was we had kids here, and it was like, oh my God, they were kind of freaking out. I was like, oh no, it's fine. I just gave her a love tap. I don't know. I didn't want to explain abuse to children, okay? It was bad. So bad. And then Uncle Tommy was the whole time that we were there, he was spouting nonsense, conspiracy theories, political views, life stories that we didn't need to hear about, I don't know if I should say this, but very inappropriate love stories, if that makes sense, in front of the kids. And I was like, Uncle Tommy, I think you've had enough to drink tonight. He had 4 bottles of alcohol in one night. And I was like, this dude has to be made of steel, because what? How would you do that? How would you possibly and physically do that? It's impossible. Even I'm not going to drink when I'm older, okay? But I was like, geez, that's a little bit extreme. And he only threw up once. Which I was like, okay, that's reasonable, because you drink and then you blah. But no, it was just, the whole visit was atrocious. And I kind of wish, because in previous videos, I was like, I can't wait to see Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom is going to be a swell guy. And then when he got there, the first day, it was fine up until night. He was being all happy and stuff. And then that one sip of alcohol just had to flip everything upside down. My mom was pretty upset. Everybody was pretty upset, Uncle Tommy. And he left. He left only a few hours ago. So, yeah. Since then, it's kind of been a little bit rough in our family. The kids don't really understand that Uncle Tommy is an abusive person. I personally did not know this until the days that he was here. It's a shame. It's a real shame, because I was looking forward to meeting Uncle Tommy. I was looking forward to getting to know more about him, getting to know about his past, getting to know all the cool things about him. And now it's I don't know. doesn't live up to the hype, I guess. So, yeah. I was a little bit upset that Uncle Tommy is a bad person, but in the end, there's not really a whole lot that can be done with him. Again, I'm just repeating myself. I'm a broken record. It sucks that he's this way. It really does suck that he's an abusive and vindictive person. I don't even know how my mom stomached living with him for all her life, pretty much. I gotta get water. Yeah. It's a real shame. No. I debated having the lights on, but there's somebody across the street, and that would be awkward if they saw me in my car, doing this stuff. I don't know what the fluff they're doing. There's two of them. It's weird. But yeah. I will say I was really disappointed with Uncle Tommy. I really was. Great. Gunshots in this neighborhood. Damn it! Sorry. I'm not... Okay, the thing about me is I'm not one to get angry and upset and swear and cuss and do all this other stuff, but there's times where I snap, all right? I do snap. I snap like Uncle Tommy does because, that's okay. We're supposed to have emotions and feelings and words that we're not supposed to say, but we do say at the same time because that's just what comes out of our brain. And I'm saying nonsense, but still. Yeah. And also, I have an associate named Janet Watkins. I'm not going to get into too much detail about Janet Watkins as of right now, because that's a little bit on the personal side of things, but I am 17 years old, and I have a lot of tasks besides the ones that I have in my physical active life that I have Janet carry out for me. So this whole week with like the Uncle Tommy thing and the Janet Watkins, it's just been like, ooh. And I might laugh when I say this, because when I'm upset, I tend to laugh like a maniacal person. I woke up this morning and I got a text from Janet Watkins. And her contact name is just Janet Watkins with the Mucinex guy. If you guys know Mucinex, or if you don't, look him up. It's like the little green turd booger guy, and he's like wearing clothes. He used to terrify me as a kid. I was like, ooh. She texted me and she's like, hey, Philip, I'm sorry I couldn't do the task, which I'm not going to say out loud because, again, personal matters. And I was like, what? What the hell? I told you. See, I'm getting upset. I'm getting upset because it was important to me that had to be done today, so I wouldn't have to deal to worry about it tomorrow. And I'm probably going to have to deal with it tomorrow because I'm probably going to get texts and calls and emails and stupid stuff that I don't need to deal with. I don't need to deal with any of it. Janet should have done it. Janet needs to do it. Janet needs to get it done. I know that Janet is watching this video right now and she needs to get it done. Janet, for the love of God, if you are watching this, please get it done. I'm sorry. I'm just... Whew. It's starting to get dark in here. Do I want to have the light on? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm indecisive. I really am. Yeah. But yeah, back to Uncle Tommy. It was just like the worst person. He, like, I'm not going to say who the worst person is on the planet, but it starts with a president and ends with a T. I don't want to get into politics on this YouTube channel. That is not my goal. That is not my thing in life, to talk about politics. But I would say that Uncle Tommy was on the same level of maniacalism as President T is. And it was just like, good God. Now, I don't know if something changed or something happened or anything happened really with Uncle Tommy in the years that I hadn't seen him. But it was just like, I could not catch a break. I'd go to the bathroom and then I'd get like a on the door. And I was like, occupied. And then I hear Uncle Tommy like, I bet it is. And he would like, ooh, I don't want to think about it. But he would kick the door and he would scream to let me in or let him in. So he'd be like, let me in. And I'm like, no. And one night I threatened him that I had a gun in the bathroom and he was like, oh crap, the feds. And he ran away. I was like, okay, that's a little bit weird. But Uncle Tommy, just overall, again, I'm just repeating myself. I was a little bit disappointed that he had changed and he didn't live up to my expectations. And again, maybe something happened in the past that I don't know about. I don't know. So, yeah. All in all, this visit was just an absolute disaster. And we also went to, near where my parents live, there is this place called Al's. And it's like an Italian restaurant. And we went there one night, and it was all 12 of us. And we're sitting there, and Uncle Tommy had like 5 alcoholic beverages in one night. And he goes, oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't burp a lot, so it's a little bit weird. But he had like 5 alcoholic beverages in one night. I was just like, ooh. And he also had a pizza too. Again, stomach of steel, I say, stomach of steel. And he, like, as we were walking out, okay, trigger warning. This is your trigger warning. He vomited on somebody's car. And the guy walked out, and he was like this fat Italian guy. I don't know if he was Italian. He looked Italian. And he's like, why you vomit on my car for? And I was like, oh, this isn't going to end well. And so Uncle Tommy, I don't know how he pulled this out, but he pulled out a knife from his pocket, and he, like, drunkenly swung at the guy. He was like, nah, ah. And I was like, okay, Uncle Tommy, we need to go. And he didn't listen, and I said, Uncle Tommy, we have to go, now! And so I grabbed him. I grabbed Uncle Tommy, like, I literally got in his way. I grabbed both of his wrists, and he, like, let go of the knife. And I slapped him across the face. Now, again, I'm not one to get violent, but I slapped him across the face, and I said, we need to go now. And so we got in the car, and I literally pushed him in the back, because I was done. I was like, this whole night has been an absolute disaster. You've ruined this for all of us. Don't you understand? And he's like, no. He was drunk or something. I don't know. And he was like, he vomited. He rolled down the window, which is kind of weird. If you're drunk, you're sensible to do that. And vomited like, bah! It was like, dude. Yeah. Also, I'm sorry if this video is like really dark and you can't see me, but that's why I didn't want the light on. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. That's all I'm going to say. It's weird. That's it. But this whole visit thing, I'm kind of glad and I'm kind of sad that it's over at the same time. So, yeah. I aim for there to be a new video tomorrow and Tuesday. But I cannot, I am so sorry to say this, I cannot guarantee a video in the next 2 weeks. I'm not going to get into the personal details, but Janet, if you're watching this, I think you know what it is, then we will have to get this kind of concluded. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I might make a video, who knows. I'll literally keep you guys posted. I promise. But yeah, all in all, that was the whole week. Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.